What is the natural amount of time for Justin Trudeau to stay in office as Prime Minister until people get sick of him, until he has worn out his welcome? What do I mean by that question, natural amount of time? Well, every political leader, every government, they all have something of a bit of an expiry date, kind of just caked into them that eventually they sort of hit upon. In the United States, when it comes to American presidents, I think they're kind of wise in terms of setting things at 8 years, 2 4-year terms. I mean, I believe that if the people want to keep electing someone for many terms and so forth, well, that's a good argument against term limits. But that idea, 8 years, okay, that's a good chunk of time for someone to be in office and then, okay, you're done, get out of here now. In Canada, there seems to be a bit of a natural timeline, give or take around the same time period. We've got politicians like Brian Mulroney, Jean Chrétien, Stephen Harper, Dalton McGuinty in Ontario, who all stuck around for about a decade. There's obviously examples of people who have only been around for a year and a half, others who have been around for many years longer. Mayors, many examples of mayors like Hazel McCallion and Mel Lastman, who stuck around for decades. But I feel like on the provincial level, particularly on the federal level, the shelf life, it's a little smaller. Where does Justin Trudeau fit in all of this? What is his sort of shelf life where even people who like him, even his own party, even people who say, yeah, I'm liberal, when asked to identify sort of what political persuasion they stand behind, how long will it take for them to go, I'm just kind of tired of this Trudeau guy. You got to sub him out, get him out of here. It's time for a change, because that has clearly happened to many leaders in the past. Justin Trudeau, he's in this interesting position right now. He's been in office for 6 years, but a number of people have observed that those 6 years, well, they're really weighty 6 years. They've been a long 6 years, and that he's managed to actually chalk up scandals and problematic incidents and so forth that other politicians might take 8 years or 10 years to chalk up. More and more people are frustrated with him, and the troublesome headlines, well, they continue to mount day by day, week by week, month by month, and so forth. So where does Justin Trudeau sit right now? I think maybe he's at it. Maybe he's at 6 years right now. And you're going to find people who say, well, yeah, I'm a natural liberal voter, liberal supporter, and so forth, but I don't know, I'm going to stay home right now, or I'm just going to ghost away from this one. We're starting to see this in the fact that the polls are actually not going in Justin Trudeau's favor. He thought maybe this election would be an opportunity to secure a majority. That's obviously why they called it when they did. And now we see, the numbers are actually not so good. Liberal support is really softening. Some people are heading over to the NDP. Aaron O'Toole, he's doing pretty well, and the polls are favoring him in many respects right now. So has Justin Trudeau just kind of met his expiry date as Prime Minister in terms of how long he has got? That, well, yes, those people I mentioned before, Brian Mulroney, Jean Chrétien, Stephen Harper, they all had about a decade in them. Justin Trudeau, you're going to be cut short. You're not going to get that full decade. You're not going to get that additional term. That there's just so much baggage that people are just kind of growing tired. They want to see a new face on the federal scene. Who knows? Anything can happen. It's still pretty early, and a week, as they say, is a lifetime in politics. Numbers could totally switch around again. Justin Trudeau could make a comeback, and he could secure the majority. But I do think that maybe he's just hitting upon his timeline differently than other politicians. And that 6 years, it's been a long time for Justin Trudeau. And maybe people are kind of feeling, all right, thanks, but we're kind of done with you right now. We shall see, but it'll be an interesting few weeks to come.